On our first video here, we're going to show you what we feel is the most powerful technique that we can utilize, and it's called the narrative. And we have all our clients recite this crazy little narrative, no matter if they're in sports or CEO or sit on a board. We go over what's called the narrative. What we're seeing these days as we're going through these times that we call radical chi, or all these transitions, we're seeing people become part of the collective narrative. And that means people are triggered by little words. It could be black, white, Portland, whatever. They're being triggered into this collective. So what we're looking at is formalizing our own personal narrative and make sure it's strengthened. The other thing we see right now is people are actually collapsing their narrative. You know, with business changes and the way we're adapting to new things, yes, we're seeing this collapsing of the narrative where I'm going to have less of this, less of that, what have you. So we want to go ahead and strengthen our narrative, and it's something that we constantly repeat to ourselves. And this is how it goes. I live a blank life. That blank you can fill in as I live a charmed life, I live a happy life, I live a blessed life, I live a divine life. And if we go back to what the structure of that means, is it almost goes back to the days of Moses, where he says, I am that I am. We're really confirming that this is what it's about. I am that I am, or I live a blank life. The second part of the narrative is how we deal in the physical world, in the real world. And it goes like this. And blank may happen. So the blank may happen could be stuff may happen, aggravations may happen, frustrations may happen, and no big deal. So you can fill in that part of the narrative. And with that, it shows that we are in this physical world, we're going to have issues, but it's no big deal. What we find happening is people start looping into this, what's going to happen? Oh, this is so terrible. I focus on this and I go round and round with this. That's when we get this adrenal loop, or the hypothalamus adrenal thyroid loop. The adrenals are going to fatigue, then the thyroid's going to take over the functions. Now we got some thyroid stuff going on, and we're looking for sugars and stimulants and carbs to make up for the sugar or the energy loss. So this part of the narrative is really important to get by, is to blank may happen, no big deal. The next part of the narrative is this. And everything always works out even better, even if I had a blank. It could be magic wand, magic lamp, fairy godmother, guardian angel. And what that shows us is that, hey, I'm working this out on my own, and I'm actually working with the subconscious mind. Now, these are really technical little things or jargons, but it's all action-packed within this narrative. Now, let's go through a narrative that I got from one of our clients that's been doing really well with this. I live a blessed life. Frustrations may happen, no big deal. And everything always works out even better, even if I had a magic wand. Now, once they have that narrative, we then incorporate posture, and we incorporate gait and patterns of movement. And there's an old saying that says, everything is revealed, nothing is hidden for those who stand upright. The other part of the narrative is this. This is about faith, or knowing. It's a frequency. And by doing this, we're exercising that knowingness, or this faith component of this. Now remember, these are now unseen forces, or what we call unexpected windfalls. We like to use the letter U quite a bit because they're fresh. We don't use them too often. It could be unified and universal also. And what happens with this is, because these U words are so fresh, especially unseen forces that help create and restore our bodies, it all is something that we look for. So we're going to look for this on a daily basis, or evidence of this occurring and coming true on a daily basis for us. And that completes our narrative. Here we go, just to wrap it up. I live a blessed life. Stuff may happen, no big deal, and everything always works out even better, even if I had a magic wand. I look for evidence of this on a daily basis, and that bridges our trust our knowing and our sense of faith that this is all going to work out. We call this epigenetics, where we're actually changing the structure, and our body actually shape shifts or morphs into this narrative. In the last part of a narrative, we can show body mechanics on posture, or what we call ears over shoulders, shoulder over hips, hips over knees, knees over arches. You cannot maintain that posture for more than 3 minutes. What we do is now, with this narrative, our body will now shape shift, morph, and be able to hold that posture. Even with some of the people who are in front of the camera and they have to smile all day, they give us the tips of, I have to think of something funny, put the tongue on the roof of my mouth, otherwise my face will cramp up because I'm exercising too many muscle fibers to smile. And one of the reasons why we do the narrative is that it affects us biomechanically. You cannot maintain a mechanical structure for more than 3 minutes. We will express or shape shift into our narrative. And as we learn from some of the people in front of a camera, in order to smile for 6 to 8 hours, they have to put the tongue on the roof of their mouth and think of something funny, otherwise they can't maintain a smile that long. And again, for our bodies and our posture, you will not be able to maintain a posture unless you have this positive narrative. If you like the narrative portion, please write a comment, hit the subscribe button, and tap the bell icon to be notified when we upload more video. And again, in order to get better, are you willing to give up some of the things that got you here?